I see it as a very positive time. It's a time when the veil is falling down. Everything we've been talking about for the last 20 or 30 years, warning people of, it's right there in their face now. They can't deny it anymore. It's no longer a theory, and it is a conspiracy, and it's affecting everybody. So yeah, I mean, I think we're at one of the most important times in human history. I've had to kind of put all my other stuff down. I want to get back into history and talk about all sorts of stuff, but there's just been so much stuff happening every day. It's been difficult to keep up with the state of the world. It's just, it's gone to the next level all around the planet. I think a lot of people are seeing this, and that's why we're going to see a lot of people stand up and just say enough is enough. People always think that they're in the minority and they get kind of scared to stand up. So, if people can get over that little hump, I think we're going to reach a tipping point where people are going to realize that it's now or never. They have to stand up. So I think, ultimately this is a test and we're going to get through it. I think the human race will overcome this tyranny eventually. I think we will. There will be some light through it. Maybe they will just, wake up and see what's really going on. And we don't need all of them to do it. We just need the people who are awake to get organised, stop bickering with each other and put down their personal differences and get some focus. And call these governments out for being an abuse of the office that they hold, express a loss of confidence in their ability to govern, and dismiss these people, institute real and honest government, and lead us back to a point of safety. I think people are seeing the need to do this. There's huge common law groups springing up all around the world. So, perhaps we will see some sort of a pushback. There was a Zoom meeting here in Australia of a common law group, and there were like 10,000 people on the Zoom call the other day. So it's really, there's an underground movement that's happening. And there's a lot of attempts to undermine that as well. But there is an underground resistance happening. I think it's happening in all countries. But we've been trying to wake people up for years. I mean, 30 years I've been screaming from the rooftops. For the last 14, 15 years, I've been online making movies and making videos and doing radio shows and everything I can. We should really be establishing freedom rather than arguing over our belief systems, which is why it was called the Truth Movement, because everyone has their own truth, I mean, sure, there's an ultimate truth, but who knows what it is until we establish the freedom to find out. So it's kind of been constructed to keep us divided. It's time to put all that down and realize we face a clear and present danger. We all have a common enemy, and we have a simple solution, which is non-compliance, and simply by leading by example in our own community, being the best we can be, being around people and standing tall in the face of all this. I'm taking a backward step. Don't give an inch, because if you give an inch, they'll take a mile, inch by inch. That's what they do. And now's the time that you've got an opportunity to stand up for yourselves, to stand up for your children. If this isn't going to do it, well, then what is? What is a more worthwhile cause for you to be able to put down all these differences with people and realize we do face a clear and present danger. We do have a common enemy, and simple unity would fix the whole problem. Just unify with the people around you, do all that you can to help them, be a good person, and don't abide by any legislation that causes you to step outside your moral compass. Do that and we'll change the world in a day. And we've got the opportunity to do that now. So that's what this is, really. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for human expansion and the expansion of the human spirit. This is an opportunity for us to get back to what we should be if we're prepared to take that opportunity. And not want for someone to come and save us. Realize that we're all participating in history here. We're all participating in making history here. Now, history is made by little people, and that's us. So yeah, it's time to get involved. We are responsible for our own salvation. Anybody who isn't telling you that you are the answer is very likely controlled opposition. But most people are telling you that you are the answer. All we have to do is stop complying. The problem is it's so simple, people can't see the forest for the trees. So they need a leader to go and do it, I'll just listen to Max and he'll do it. I can hold his coat and he'll send me a newsletter to tell me when the world's safe to go outside now, and I can just go back to my normal mundane life. People don't understand they've got to change that mundane life. Step into your power. Now's the opportunity for you to step into your power. All people like myself can do, or you, or anybody having these radio shows, is help people find these doorways so they can walk through themselves. Just let them know there's another path. But it's up to them to step onto it. As soon as they do step onto it, the world will change, especially if everybody steps onto it. But if you're constantly doubting people, You know, and I listen to everything this guy says and I like what he says, but there's that one thing he says that I don't like. He must be controlled opposition. That's your belief system. Put all your beliefs down. You don't know what the truth is. Nobody knows what the truth is. You know, I've been researching this my whole life. I don't know what the truth is. I've got a pretty good idea about a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to say this is, because I don't know. I don't have the freedom to know. And ultimately, all of these rabbit holes and questions exist, and all these character flaws and all this stuff that you think is in people exist because you're programmed into this belief, you know, and you're not free. You're not free enough to find out. So let's just establish freedom. All we've got to do is realize who and what we are, and we're there. That's it. That's the key to the whole thing. You know, like I said, it's so simple. People simply can't see the forest for the trees. So, you know, when someone's controlled opposition, I just take it with a grain of salt. I listen to what they say. You know, I'll take from it what makes sense. I'll put that on the shelf, and I'll find other stuff that works. And okay, I'll put that on the same shelf until the picture builds itself. You know, you paint the canvas black. You just paint it black and let people paint their own picture. And they will, and then you'll eventually see them for what they are. You don't need anybody else's influences to tell you. You can hear it with your heart if you listen in the right way. The truth is in your own heart. You know, what you need to be focusing on is yourself and the power that you have. You know, anybody who's telling you, well, there's this group, we're putting together this organization, we're going to save things for you, they're very likely controlled opposition. But, you know, if it's about you and realizing that we're just dealing with people, there is no such thing on earth as little people. That's what I always say to people when people give me these titles and say I'm this and I'm that and I'm this guru or whatever. No, I'm just Max. That's the point. I'm a nobody. I'm a guitar player who lives in a shed. You know, you don't have to be somebody special. That's a program. All you've got to do is be prepared to speak and realize that what you're dealing with here is just other people, and you don't actually have to do what you're told. If you want to get religious about it, okay, well, God created man and gave man dominion over the earth. That's you. Okay, that's you. Man created government created, you know, man created society created government created politicians and laws and police, and they're way down the food chain from you. There is no one between you and God. Why would you ever think anybody has any authority over you, and you have to do what you're told and walk between these lines and do all this stuff and comply with wrong behavior every day of your life? Because as soon as you stop doing that, the world changes. It's really that simple. You know, you don't need anyone to form any organization, have any trials for these people, form any of this or groups or even the whole common law stuff. I mean, all this stuff is just to get people to understand that, you know, they don't have to comply with all this rubbish politicians create. So it's a stepping stone, but ultimately, you know, when you get to realize what you are, that's above it all. That's above the whole thing. It's above common law. It's above everything. It's life itself.